Let's talk about the 1946 wheat penny with no mint mark. You might be wondering, what makes a regular penny from 1946 so special? Well, here's the story. Most 1946 pennies have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but there's a rare version without a mint mark that stands out. You see, in 1946, the Philadelphia Mint accidentally produced a small batch of wheat pennies that didn't bear any mint mark. This mistake turned out to be a huge deal, and these unmarked coins are now incredibly rare and valuable. At first, collectors weren't sure how many of these unmarked pennies actually existed. There were rumors about this mistake, but no one could have predicted how significant it would become years later. The lack of a mint mark on these coins made them incredibly unique, and today, a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark can sell for upwards of $14,950. That's right, nearly $15,000 for one penny. If you happen to find one of these hidden gems in your collection, you'll want to double-check for that mint mark. A missing mint mark could mean you've just stumbled upon a rare, extraordinary find. The mystery behind these no mint mark pennies has fueled excitement among collectors for years, and when these rarities pop up at auctions, the bids can skyrocket. It's one of those holy grail coins for serious collectors. But it's not just the error that makes this penny so valuable. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its worth. If you happen to have a 1946 wheat penny with no mint mark that's in near perfect condition, then you're sitting on a real treasure. The value of these coins can increase significantly depending on how well preserved they are. A coin that looks almost brand new will attract even more attention from potential buyers. But it's important to remember that not every 1946 penny without a mint mark is worth a small fortune. The overall condition, as well as how rare the coin is within the market, makes all the difference. For instance, even though the 1946 no mint mark penny is valuable, if it's worn down from years of circulation, the price won't be anywhere near that $14,950 mark. In conclusion, the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark is a rare and valuable find that has a fascinating history. It's a mistake that ended up creating a highly sought-after coin, and as long as it's in good condition, it can fetch a pretty hefty price. So, if you're hunting for coins, be sure to check your 1946 pennies carefully, as that tiny detail of a missing mint mark could mean you've discovered a hidden treasure. Keep your eyes peeled for those small, rare finds. They can be worth more than you think. Let's fast forward to 1950. In the 1950s, the US Mint was cranking out pennies like crazy, but there's one particular coin from this decade that stands out and is highly coveted by collectors. I'm talking about the 1950 AD wheat penny. Now, while this coin may not be as rare as the no mint mark 1946, it's still one of the most valuable and sought-after wheat pennies ever found. So, what makes the 1950 AD so special? The answer lies in its mintage and the condition of the coin. Back in 1950, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies. But there was a significant issue with some of those coins that came off the press. Some of the 1950 AD pennies were struck with a doubling error in the date, something that collectors refer to as a die doubling error. At first glance, the 1950 AD might look like any other penny. But if you look closely, you'll notice something a little off. The date on some of these coins has a slight doubling effect. You can see an extra shadow of the number 0, or D5. This error occurred during the minting process when the die was improperly aligned, causing the numbers to be stamped twice. The mistake wasn't caught by the mint's quality control, and as a result, some of these 1950 AD pennies are now incredibly valuable. So why does this matter so much? Well, the presence of this die doubling error is what really sets the coin apart. It's a small detail, but for collectors, it's a big deal. The rarity of the error, combined with the condition of the coin, can significantly increase its value. A 1950 AD wheat penny with this die doubling error, if in near perfect condition, can fetch up to $10,800 at auction. But, of course, the price can vary based on the severity of the doubling and the overall state of the coin. If the doubling is more pronounced and the coin is in pristine condition, its value can skyrocket. But even if you find one with a mild error or some signs of wear, it can still be worth quite a bit more than a typical penny. It's crazy to think how a tiny detail like this could turn an ordinary penny into a high-value collectible. That's the magic of numismatics. Those small, rare occurrences in the minting process are what make coins like this so special. And it's what makes collecting coins so exciting. The hunt for that one rare find, the thrill of discovering something that could be worth far more than its face value, is what keeps collectors coming back for more. In the end, it's not just about finding a coin, it's about finding that perfect coin with a unique story behind it. And with the 1950 wheat penny, that story is all about a simple mistake that turned into a highly sought-after treasure. It goes to show that sometimes, it's the little imperfections that make something truly valuable. Now, let's talk about one of the final years of the wheat penny series, the 1958 D. This is a coin that collectors go wild for, especially when they find one in top-notch condition. But what makes it so valuable? Well, the 1958 D is special because it marked the very last year that the iconic wheat design appeared on the back of the penny. After 1958, the US Mint switched over to the Lincoln Memorial design, which makes the 1958 D a significant part of American numismatic history. The 1958 D wheat penny has a history all its own. In 1958, the US Mint in Denver struck more than 1 billion pennies that year. But out of those billions, only a few escaped circulation in mint condition. And that's where the real value lies. Finding one of these coins in near-perfect shape is a rare and exciting discovery. In fact, when one of these 1958 D pennies in exceptional condition hit the market in 2019, it sold for an astonishing $9,000. If you're wondering what makes this particular coin so valuable, let me break it down. It's not just because it's the last year of the wheat design, but it's also about how well preserved the coin is. The 1958 D, like most pennies, was made for everyday circulation, meaning that most of the coins you'll find today are heavily worn down from years of use. The ones that stand out in value are those in near mint condition, free of scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear. As you can see, condition plays a huge role in determining the value of this coin. The worn-down 1958 D pennies, which most people have in their collection, are worth only a few cents. But if you're lucky enough to come across one with minimal wear or, even better, a coin that has barely touched circulation, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. It's crazy to think that a coin, once spent as just 1 cent, can now be worth thousands of dollars. But that's the beauty of numismatics. Those small moments in history, combined with rarity and condition, create coins that become highly desirable to collectors. With the 1958 D, it's about more than just finding a rare penny, it's about owning a piece of history. And when you think about it, the 1958 D wheat penny represents the end of an era. The wheat design, which had been featured on the penny since 1909, was a symbol of America's agricultural past and its industrial growth. So when the US Mint decided to change the design, it marked the end of a long chapter. For collectors, that shift made the 1958 D even more significant, cementing its place as a coveted piece of American history. So, if you're out hunting for coins, keep your eyes peeled for a 1958 D wheat penny in great condition. Who knows? You might just end up with one of these rare, historical coins that could fetch you thousands at an auction. It's a reminder of how the smallest, most ordinary things can become valuable treasures when combined with rarity, condition, and a touch of history.